After almost 4.5 years, we are finally getting a brand new 5-star character from Mondstadt. And that would be our lovely boy Durin here. And I am excited for this because he looks to have a pretty interesting playstyle. What I am less excited about, never mind actually, we have 124 pulls. I didn't think I had that many. Okay, we are sitting at 14 pity. We are on a 50-50 though. But this is looking pretty good to get Durin, which is lovely because I really want him. So without further ado, because Durin has a lot of different teams and I'm going to do a lot of different testing with him, let's jump straight into one of the biggest pulling sessions I would have done on my main account in a while. So 10 pull number 1, this is 24 pity. You're not even on the banner. 10 pull number 2, 34 pity. Please just give me Yehoda. Thank you. And now just give me a bunch of copies of her because I would like to build her. Plus the other two are already C6. Finally, at least hopefully finally, 74 pity. We should see a 5-star. Nope. Okay. That is a shame because I would also like Durin's weapon because it is a crit sword and I don't have any crit swords on this account. Thank you. I want more of Yehodas. This should be it. This should be 84 now, pity. So yeah, there we go. There's the 5-star. We just need to win this 50-50. Come on. Win 50-50, please. Let's see. Dragon. Dragon.
It's been a long time.
Well, there we go. It's just as easy as that. But there we go. Now we have Durin, which means not that we're going to go here. And I'm going to try for his weapon because I would really, really like it. I didn't check pity on here, so I don't know what I'm at. I'm going to skip this. Ooh, new weapons. What is this? Elemental Mastery Sword and Energy Recharge Catalyst. Interesting. What pity am I at? We're at 6 pity. So now that was 16 pity. This will be 26 pity, 36 pity. I don't know if we're going to have enough pulls. Okay, never mind. We have enough pulls for the 5-star. Durin's weapon, please. Sword. Please give me the sword. Yes. Oh my god, this is insane. Perfect. The pulling session literally could not have gone better. That was absolutely perfect. And we still have 40 more pulls, which I probably won't use on anything unless he has a really good C1. Or wait, that actually sounds really good. We get more damage based off of Durin's attack for other characters, or just active characters, for his supportive mode. And then he just gets a bunch more damage for his DPS mode. That's kind of tempting. We got 40 pulls. We can... Oh my god. No way. No way. You have got... What? Okay. Yeah, I guess. C1? What's his C2 do? Oh my god, I shouldn't do this, but we're on a roll. What does his C2 do? That buffs damage. That'd be also really good. Because after we use his burst, all nearby party members get Vaporize, Melt, Burning, Overload, Pyro Swell, Pyro Crystallize. They get 50% increase to pyro damage, and whatever element is reacting with that pyro for 6 seconds. That is also pretty good. So... C2 or more Yehodas. I would like more Yehodas. That's the other thing. I kind of just want to get more copies of Yehoda. So I guess we do a couple more pulls. I have a few pulls left. We might as well. It can't hurt. We're on a roll at the moment, so we might as well. More Yehodas, lovely. That is C2 Yehoda, I believe. Maybe just get one more copy of Yehoda would be kind of nice, but we're not close to 4-star pity, so probably not. And last pull, we see nothing. Yeah, well, goddamn. Those are probably some of the luckiest pulls I've done in a good while. We won the first 50-50, got Durin. We won his weapon quite early, I believe, as well. We won that 50-50. And then literally 7 pity later, we won another 50-50, got C1 Durin. Genuinely has to be some of the luckiest pulls I have done in like a year and a half, maybe even longer. That was insane. Well, I guess we are very set for this video. So let's start building this dude up. See what we can get him to level-wise. He has an alternative outfit. What is changing? There's some very, very, very minor differences up here. I'm assuming this is like his dark form and that's his light form. So now let's begin the leveling process. I should have enough Mora and level up books. Not sure about the other stuff. I definitely won't have enough boss drops because it is a new boss. These I should be able to do, hopefully. These will be sweet, and these will also be sweet. So boss drops are just going to be our issue, which won't be the hardest thing in the world to deal with. So I could honestly probably get him to level 90 today, which would be my goal because I would really like to see what Durin can do. Because coming into this, I did look at a few guides and he seems to be able to do quite a bit of damage and also support other characters to do quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to try to get him to level 90. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to activate his C1 yet because I want to actually see a damage difference between the two. I would like to see how much of an increase we get from C0 to C1. He seems to have a lot of different team options, especially for his supportive version. For his DPS version, it seems like it's more basic. You basically have either melt or vaporize, and you kind of want to run in with another Hexerai character, so Mona or Fischl, I guess, or, Sucrose or someone. I feel like I should be using Pyro against this dude. But yeah, his DPS form definitely has a few less options, it feels like. But his supportive version, it seems like he is very versatile. And there are a few teams I would really like to test him out with for his supportive playstyle. You just can't use him with Cryo or Hydro characters because it's a different buff. That's his DPS stuff. We have done a few runs of that boss. So now, I'm going to get Yehoda up to level 20. There you go. I will build you at some point because you seem interesting. Don't know when that'll be. You will also C2, so let's activate those. There you go. Now, Kave's C2 as well. Where is Durin? There you are. Lovely. You can go to level 50 now. And you can go to 60. Awesome. And we're going to need a lot more of these to go any further. We'll also need some more of these. Could be an issue, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how many we need. I also need to go activate the Hexerai stuff. But yeah, I need to actually do the quests for that. I will also probably do the Mona quest and probably the Fischl one as well. Maybe Sucrose. Any characters I'm going to use with Durin, I will probably go do their Hexerai quest. I don't know how long that is, but I reckon I should probably do it if I'm going to be actually building Hexerai teams. So now I'm just going to do a bunch of runs in here until I have close-ish enough of them. I don't actually know, but we'll just do a bunch of runs in here. I should probably go farm his local specialties first. How much resin do I have? I have 60. Okay. Let's do one more run, and then I'll go farm his local specialties. And that will determine how high we can get him. Because obviously, if there's not enough local specialties to get him to level 90, then we definitely can't get him to level 90. But there we go. There is another run of that done. And now I'm going to go see how many of these I can get. I really annoyed he doesn't use his actual wings to glide, but I will say the Inazuma glider does look pretty good on him. It's not quite his wings, but if we can get his wings out, there we go. It's not too far off. It looks pretty close. Anyway, back to farming. And there we go. That is everything I need for Durin. Although, unfortunately, it is not enough to go to level 90. It is only enough for level 80. But I only had to use 3 fragile resin to get all of the boss drops. So we should be able to bring him nice and easily up to level 80, which we'll do for now. There you go. 78% extra crit damage is very, very nice. And yeah, we're going to need quite a few more of these when they reset for level 90. Now that you are level 80, and that's as far as we can go for now, let's deal with the talents. Of course, he needs Mondstadt books. I figured that was going to be the case. I'm leveling up the wrong thing. We want to do Burst as a priority. And yeah, I don't have any of these. These are open today, which is good, so I guess I'll have to go farm them. But before we do go farm them, actually, I would like to check his weapon, which is finally the first 5-star crit weapon I have on this account. And it seems to be relatively versatile. I think it does have some Hexerai stuff in it, but it's crit rate main stat, and we get elemental burst crit damage plus attack increase, which isn't actually bad. It seems like a relatively versatile weapon, which is good, so I can use it on other sword characters if I want to build other DPS sword characters. I'm probably going to need more of these. So now let's go do probably quite a bit of farming. But with Arlecchino, we should get through them very, very quickly. Speaking of which, I think I can also use Arlecchino as one of the characters for Durin. In like a overload team, I believe. You can run him. Was that 280,000? Jesus Christ, Arlecchino. You can run Durin as like the support for a Arlecchino main DPS like overload team, and that's supposed to work relatively well. So that is one of the teams I would like to try out. I would also like to try out the same overload team just using Varessa instead of Arlecchino, and I don't know who else I use. I'll probably use Fischl on that team, but I would like to do that as well. And then probably Kinich burning teams. We could probably try some Animo swell teams. We can probably try like some DPS Aoife. I know I have my DPS Aoife. He might be able to work with Durin. I could use Navia for Crystallize. I think those are like probably some of the ones I'll try. We'll try Navia Crystallize, Varessa Overload, Arlecchino Overload, Kinich, DPS Aoife. That's all I can really think of for supportive stuff, at least just the ones that I want to try out. And then DPS side of things, we are going to run him with probably Farina, Bennett, and wherever she is gone, Mona, because Hexerai buff. And just go for a full Vaporize thing. Let's see how far I can go with his talents. We'll go burst up to level 7, I'm going to say. There you go. We can't go any further. We'll get the skill up to level 1. No, 2 actually. That's not the skill, that is a normal attack. And it doesn't look like we can go much further. Yeah, I might do a bit more farming for these as well. So let's go quickly get this weapon to, I'm assuming, level 80. And then I will go farm more for both the weapon and for his talents. I'd like to get his talents up to level 9, or at least his burst up to level 9. These will not be a problem, which is great. These shouldn't be a problem. These will be a little bit of an issue. So we'll get the skill up to level 6, I'm going to say, and then we'll get this up to hopefully level 8 or 9. And obviously the weapon up to level 90. And then it's just artifacts and teams. Actually, I will also need to go do his Hexerai quest so I can get that buff. And also the Hexerai quests for Mona, Fischl, and I don't know about Sucrose, but maybe Sucrose. But first, we gotta do the farming, so let's go do that. Okay, so I've gone and done a little bit of farming. And I can now get Durin's sword up to level 90. 33 crit rate is actually pretty good. And then we can also get his burst. At least we should be able to. Get his burst up to level 8, potentially 9. And we will decide what I want to do with his skill. Whether I want to level that up or not. But first, let's just get it to level 6. So it is at least somewhat leveled. There we go. And then we'll get the burst up to level 8. And I do not believe we'll be able to go, but we can't go any further with the burst, and we can't go any further with the skill. So that will have to do. Now I also need to go do Durin's Hexerai quest, which I don't know what that is or how long it takes. But I need to go quickly do this one, because this video needs to come out in a couple hours. Well, there we go. That was actually relatively easy. Now while we're going with this, I'm going to do a few others. That being Fischl and Mona's. I don't think I'm going to worry about Sucrose's right now, but these two I will probably use with Durin, so I'm going to go quickly do these. And with that, that means that all of the Hexerai quests I want to do are done, which means it is artifact time. Now, I have no clue what I'm going to run him on, but I would say supportive set, probably just Noblesse, because it's easy. And then for his damage stuff, we could probably do like 2-piece Crimson, 2-piece Noblesse for the burst damage, because all of his stuff is burst damage. But seeing as I'm going to start with the supportive build, let's just run with Noblesse for now. So there we go, that is full Noblesse. It is not a terrible set. There are some pieces that could be a little bit better, But overall, it is not bad. We are running him on attack. That's a pretty garbage attack percent Sans, but it's okay. Attack percent, pyro damage, and then crit damage, which puts him at just over 2,000 attack. I believe we want to be closer to 2,500, but it's not terrible. It's decent enough for now. And a 70 to 216, which is actually really good crit ratio. Now we get to have some fun trying out some teams. Now we are going supportive build to start off with. So we are going to start with, let's go with the Kinich Burning team, which will most likely be these three. And then either like Mawika or Dia, or we could put in, you know, she might actually work. We could just run a Yansan for now. That would probably work. Nahida, I am going to need your burst. Thank you. We do that. I forget Yansan's rotations, but we just do something. Skill to burst. And then Kinich. We see, oh, is that 200? That, okay, I think it might have been 250,000 at the start, and then 100. That's actually a lot more damage. Kinich normally does 116, 120 maybe. That was substantially more damage and is actually very viable with the uptime of Durin's skill. The Kinich team worked really good. That's nice. We can definitely use Durin here. Let's have a look at the next team I would like to try out, and that is Navia. And I'll probably throw her with, I guess, Farina and Shalonen. Once again, let's see how this goes. Boom, boom, we'll do this. We'll do Durin skill to skill. I need your burst. Thank you. We'll do Navia burst. And then we'll get some stacks up for our skill. Hopefully. There we go. And boom. I didn't see that. Navia burst. And boom. 230,000. Considering Navia's not on an insanely good build. Only 177 crit damage. Okay, goddamn, pop off, Durin. Well, that is two teams that have had their damage not quite doubled, but like pretty damn close, I'd say. Like that's actually really good. Okay, we're gonna keep this train running. What else can we do? I think the other ones I wanted to try out were overload teams. The first of which is Arlecchino. We are obviously gonna run Fischl here for the Hexerai buff, and we will run probably a Bennett because he is easy. We're gonna do this. We'll do Fischl, Durin. I need your burst. Thank you. That amount of the crazy amount of ER he gets from his skills really nice. And Arlecchino, what are we seeing? We are seeing a lot. Durin is actually like on another level of good. He's like Farina level of buffing, which leads me to my last team, which is full DPS Durin. So we're going to go Durin, we're going to go Mona, Farina, and I guess Bennett probably will be the best. So there we go. Now he has 2,000 attack, same as normal, 73 to 209, so a bit less crit damage, but overall not terrible. Okay, let's have a look. Damage, 170,000. 170,000 again. Was that 570,000? Surely not. Okay, no, thank God. It wasn't 500,000. That would have been actually crazy. Although, I was looking through and we were hitting a pretty consistent 100 to 170,000 off most of his attacks, which is not bad. So now we can finally activate his C1, which will just give him more damage and give other people more damage. So, boom, there you go. C1 Durin. Let's immediately go test out this team again. Okay, come on, Durin. Good stuff. 160,000. I think that's 200,000 potentially. I might have saw 200,000 in there. Hey, not bad. I think I did see a 200,000. It could have been a 20,000, but I think it was a 200,000, which is about what I'd expect. It's a 150% damage increase. No, 150% of Durin's attack, which he currently has just over 2,000. So it's not perfect. But hey, not bad. About 200,000 there, I think, from his burst. That is really good if it's consistent. C1 definitely did do a little bit of an increase. It will be more what to do to get him to level 90. But I will say Durin is definitely going to become a new meta character because I can do over 200,000 or so with him as a full DPS build. And then as a supportive build, he almost doubles the damage of like my Navia, my Kinich, and my Arlecchino. And out of all the teams I used, I reckon this team right here will probably be my go-to Durin team. He does work as a DPS, but I just find him to work better as a sub-DPS support. Or the Kinich team didn't mind that. The Navia team is also good. I'm basically just going to use him as a pyro off-fielder if I need one of them for a team, or if it's a team that requires a pyro reaction, Durin's going to boost that damage by a lot. Plus with his C1, we get more damage increase, and with his signature weapon, we not only get some more damage from Durin and for the rest of the team, I believe. Yes, 20 attack percent for nearby party members. But then it's also my first good crit 5-star sword. This was a very successful video. Durin is insane, and it's honestly one of my favorite characters now. And we got insanely lucky. I was like 100 pulls and we got 3 5-stars, won all my 50/50s. Absolutely insane. But it is currently 12:30 at night, and I need this video to be done by 2:30. So I got like 2 hours maybe. So I'm going to have to leave it there. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you liked this video, do go check out one of the characters that I tried to build as a DPS, but couldn't because of our limited swords, and that was my DPS Gene in the last video. And with that being said, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good. Bye.